What the law see 8 years transformer must show say Ghana for Becasum di Dumsor aba. Timako to transformers na solo kano na bodi abegu ho ne so bro na we bro na eraste musio mani sika. Nti mo ade mo ye.
Oh, and then money be bro mo kan mi anu mo kan na propaganda nko.
And the man to transformers.
Yeah, to transformers.
Mo fix it.
Yeah, fix it transformers be me potting. But let me just tell you, say, I mean, say me na minister. But time ani e can do see no na mo say dey na ye. So this is the same party NDC. Omutimi omu enuaba koko another station. Etimi ka ewo awa Muhammad enim say we are installing 1 megawatt of electricity. 1 megawatt kra anka electricity. They were spreading this all of me amiko show so. Emma enuaba ko eka sasem we ama me putting right with GTV. I think that day you were there. Into omutimi ye propaganda na to the point to say communicators ni na etumi do baby no more spread it, and they actually believe pacho me and they get to a point where they even believe their own propaganda says the truth. So I say installed capacity by MPP government 1,648 minimum. The fact is that by the time Ananado Eba government 2017 take it over. Now the installed capacity was around 4,132 or so. And by the time I official now increase it to between 5,500. That's private. Install capacity in a government install a capacity per se. When private ones, please. Can I continue, Mr. Omai interjecto? So I say, more ade capacity more ade, you know. It wasn't a private sector players in ade. IPP agreements are most signing board Ghana. We had to renegotiate it to 6 years. Pacho me say answer me. I'm just doing my own submission. So IPP agreements I'm signing my World Bank is Suma Ghana says you are renegotiate a bit me a collapse economy no. Mo signing any private players na money almost signing and almost install capacity no. What do you mean by say
oh,
you have AXA, you have Asogli, you have Sempower, you have all those and some of them are quasi government institutions like BUI and VRA and so on. So I mean to even make that point, but I don't want to be distracted. So I say the bottom line is that you increase capacity well. You usage IO Krumha around 4,300. Meaning 4,400. Somewhere around that is our peak capacity. And Joy News has done a research that shows we for weeks now we have been producing sometimes below that peak capacity. That is the main cause. And Untina, even before we had an issue at Akosumbo, we were having Dumsor. We were having Dumsor problems. I was going through it. I have a shop. And you do stage in Pempen. So every day, BI, Binya power outage, almost send me a message. And my message is netintini. To a point, he says, say, ya nyere ho, ni ya mpe generator, business no, NTBA, ebeyasem. We never experienced this level of Dumsor. And one person was saying, say, Omu define it, Dumsor, na we nye Dumsor. Some of them are in denial. People know, business people, individuals, they know when adienimu yeshe na ye intensa. The moment it gets to that point, it's Dumsor. It's whether you define it, you agree it's Dumsor, it's not Dumsor. It does not matter. The people know when they feel it. Solve the problem. About 66% to 70% of power generation is thermal, which we use crude or natural gas. So yes, we're trying to move from the previous government, lots of investment to make sure say they move it into natural gas, which is cheaper and cleaner. We are moving, and the projects are completely continue. But the bottom line is that close to 70% of this, they are not producing at almost optimal capacity all over the place. Enjoy all the details. as to how much many of them are not producing up to their optimal capacity. They are not getting the fuel. To say fuel, isn't it suspicious? Say fuel prices cost then all of a sudden you produce below the needed capacity, peak capacity. Sikano ewahi sa 8%. Me explain it. There is an RTI that's been filed by Honorable Abib. Yes. It is sooner or later, no, you cannot hide anymore. You have to account to the people for 8%. You took the ESLA. Okay, ESLA was already charging close to 8%. And I'm a double no. To close to 2 cities. We are now 1 city per day. It works out to close to 16% tax on all petroleum products. And I'm mobile charge ye. Must say a best solve Dumsor problem. And all you can do is what? One, market the energy sector budget. Okay? Last time we checked here from some Joy News reports near the it's supposedly from about 9.3 billion cedis to 1.5 billion cedis. Okay. How? That's Joy News reporting. According to the former MD, Dubik, he's saying, ECG Nkwan budget had been reduced by 1.5 billion. This is after they had done all the propaganda telling us, MPP had not invested. But they all distracting me, ECG budget, wakati. But you were on a press conference by the Honorable Minister himself saying, problem now you facing is because of inadequate investment in the sector. Why should this minister continue on office? Continue but why should such a person continue when you yourself say there had been inadequate investment in the sector? If it's inadequate, why did you cut it? Machine also. Oh yeah, then and I will cut it. I will say yeah, then ensono. How is this justifiable? And then yeda hit mu yenra me watch water more like you do and say pass will be a when your friend is saying and they happen all over the place yesterday. So no. So creating which problem? But I'm just saying that you said you are investing enough, but almost all the transformers and the more person would you buy. Please don't say we didn't install. The President of the Republic is on record, on video, talking about how our start almost replacing some of them. Dumsor, what was it about? It was transformer replacement. It's an ongoing activity. Ongoing. It doesn't end. Complain today. What am I complaining about? But I'm just saying that the problem is not caused necessarily because of transformers. Okay, that has already been debunked by Joy News, saying that we are not producing enough. That is at the root of the issue. But the question I say for baby son say in the 8 years of NPP, Yenim say in 2016 mobeto best 3,800 megawatts mobeto ye. Mo kon mutu me the best 1,007 eka ho. But a chunk of sa it's not true. Nyabotre bacho a chunk of 1,007 nyina no. Eye juma NDC ye di ja ho in 2016 na ema mutu me ebenya sa addition no. It's what investment ben na mo ye wo energy sector ho. Investment dey be aban bi some power producers eba enya buying dia Ghana dia. What does it mean NDC and the year we in NDC into you and no na mobile deal there are some new players it was systemly, but the bottom line is you buy you better so tiase and now you increasing to the point where we have enough according to a friend is saying Energy Commission. So we have between 5,500 megawatts to 5,700 of dependable capacity that we can produce.
No, we don't have that.
We don't have that. We don't have that.
We don't have capacity.
I go.
Amen.
That capacity is one that you can even go and check right now, Google. And we are not producing up to the capacity to produce. That's the main problem. And you know, if you have enough capacity to meet your peak demand and you are not doing it, then you want to say that it has to do with lack of production. Production from where? Buy the fuel.